Hi, my name's Clay Harrison, and I'm an entrepreneur marching forward. When I got into boot camp, my company was called One Dia, and I had a few other things I tried out. One also with an engineering entrepreneurship class called Auto House, which was a automated greenhouse for hobby gardeners, and finally one I lovingly call Fail Mail from Startup Weekend. However, currently, as far as small businesses go, I'm working at Badger Technologies in Brandon Crossing, and we do retail robots. Mostly checking the floors to see if there's any spill hazards or anything people can get hurt on, as well as checking the shelves to see if everything's in stock. Being in the boot camp really didn't teach me much about my startup. It taught me more about myself, right? Before I got into the boot camp, I was a long-time Toyota co-op. I was going on my third co-op that summer, and I was pretty much set, because you always hear people saying, at least you got it on your resume. That's a great builder. Well, once I got into the boot camp and I had experienced what One Dia was as a small startup, the flexibility, the creativity, I really kind of loved it, right? And after that, being a part of Badger Technologies as a startup in product development, things like that, I didn't see another way to go. And I had already booked myself for an R&D Toyota co-op, and so I went and tried it, and it wasn't it. Something that I had been building towards for 3 or 4 years wasn't something I loved. And it kind of made me realize that the boot camp made me realize that startups was where my career was going to be. So I definitely had hurdles in the boot camp, which is why One Dia isn't functioning now. My big hurdle was pricing, right? Logistically, you can tell yourself, it cost me this many man hours, and I want this percent profit, and I want, it's going to cost me this much in materials. But once you get into it, for me, telling somebody, okay, this is what the price is going to be, knowing that I have like a 20% or 30% profit margin on me, it made me feel like I should be helping them more and making my product cheaper. The other hurdle I really had was I had this notion of a one-man business, right? Take care of everything, pull you up by your bootstraps and do it all. And I didn't have the skill set for that, right? My time management is not as good as my creativity, right? And as far as social media goes, I struggle, right? And so that's a huge part in startups nowadays. And it definitely taught me that for me to be successful as a small business, I needed a great team around me that complemented my skill set instead of being part of my skill set. However, my successes was learning, right? I loved the small business, and I found out what I was good at and how much I enjoyed product development, and even further, learning how to design for manufacturing, right? That next real step. So speaking of steps, if I had a new entrepreneur coming to me and asking, what's your advice? It would be to take that next step, whether that's developing your MVP or creating the social media account for marketing. You got to take the step, and whether you trip, fall, stumble, at least you're going to do it forward. You're going to make some kind of progress. You're going to learn something from it. So if you want to ask me any questions, or you want to chat me up or throw me in on your next venture, you can get in touch with me on Instagram, ClayDoh95, Claydo95. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time. My name is Clay Harrison, and I am an entrepreneur marching forward.